It's nighttime in the big city. 3 homeless men share a bottle around a trash can inferno. A rock goes through a window on 12th Street. It's Theme Time Radio Hour with your host, Bob Dylan.
Well, welcome to Theme Time Radio Hour. In the background, some very sad music, because this week we're going to learn about sad clowns, crocodiles, and tear-stained makeup. We're going to look at a river of tears as we learn about crying. So grab yourself a Kleenex. Heck, you better grab the whole box. Not all songs about crying are necessarily sad. This one at least sounds happy. It's by Question Mark and the Mysterians. They were the first major Latino rock group, led by Rudy Martinez, who actually changed his name to Question Mark. He's the only guy I know, except for Prince, whose name is Punctuation. Question Mark never appears in public without his sunglasses. I gotta admit, they did make him look pretty cool. Here's Rudy and the group, which named itself after the 1957 Japanese science fiction film, The Mysterians. Question Mark and the Mysterians. You're gonna cry 96 tears. Or thereabouts.
Too many teardrops for one heart to be crying. Too many teardrops for one heart to carry on. You're way on top now since you left me. You're always laughing way down at me. But watch out now, I'm gonna get there. We'll be together for just a little while, and then I'm gonna put you way down here, and you'll start crying 96 tears. Cry, cry. And when the sun comes up, I'll be on top. You be right down there, looking up. And I might wave, come up here, but I don't see you waving now. I'm way down here, wondering how I'm gonna get you, but I know now I'll just cry, cry, I'll just cry. Too many teardrops for one heart to be crying. Too many teardrops for one heart to carry on. You're gonna cry 96 tears. You're gonna cry 96 tears. You're gonna cry, 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 cry now. You're gonna cry, 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 cry 96 tears. Come on, let me hear you cry now. 96 tears. Woo! I wanna hear you cry night and day, yeah, all night long. 96 tears. Cry, cry, cry. Come on, baby, let me hear you cry now. All night long. 96 tears. Yeah, come on now. 96 tears.
That was Question Mark and the Mysterians. Question Mark was somewhat eccentric. He claimed to be a Martian who lived with dinosaurs in a past life. He actually still claims that voices told him he would be performing 96 Tears in the year 10,000. Mark it down on your calendar. Here's the lovely and talented Anita O'Day. She sang with the Gene Krupa Big Band, but here she is in front of the Stan Kenton Band. Check out her autobiography from 1981, High Times, Hard Times. She pulls no punches when she talks about her drug addiction and cold turkey. This is Anita O'Day, a real sad tomato and a busted Valentine, and the song, And Her Tears Flowed Like Wine.
He would spend it on the ponies, he would spend it on the girls, buy his mother gin and roses for her poor old headed curls. But when his wife said, hey now, what did you get for me? He socked her in the choppers. Such a sweet, sweet guy was he.
And her tears flowed like wine. Yes, her tears flowed like wine. She's a real sad tomato. She's a busted Valentine. Knows her mama that told her that a man is darned unkind.
How he loved the old race horses. He would bet them every day. One day he caught a winner, and the cabbage wasn't hay. He indulged in fancy spending, ordered rings, cars, and furs. But alas, alack, like a stab in the back, she found out they were not hers.
And her tears flowed like wine. Yes, her tears flowed like wine. She's a real sad tomato. She's a busted Valentine. Knows her mama that told her that a man is darned unkind.
He got mixed up with a Maisie. He got mixed up with a Flo. So Flo shoved him in the river. He'll not get mixed up no more. His wife then draped herself in black. That showed her figure fine. Then she cussed him out. The two-faced guy, no insurance could she find.
And her tears flowed like wine. Yes, her tears flowed like wine. She's a real sad tomato. She's a busted Valentine. Knows her mama that told her that a man is darned unkind.
That was Anita O'Day. Her tears are flowing like wine on this tear-soaked edition of Theme Time Radio Hour. Tears are a liquid produced by the body's process of lacrimation to clean and lubricate the eyes. There is one lacrimal gland located above and beside each eye. You might want to use some drops in the dry weather. Let me move along here before I bore you to tears. My old buddy, Robert Charles Guidry, was better known as Bobby Charles, and he was more successful as a songwriter than a singer. And that's a sin, because he's a hell of a singer. He's got one of the most melodious voices ever transferred to a piece of vinyl. He was probably best known for a little song he wrote called See You Later, Alligator. He recorded it, but it didn't become a big pop hit until Bill Haley covered it. A little bit later on, Bobby went over to Hub City and recorded a bunch of country music for them, like this record, Big Boys Cry. Here's Bobby Charles.
I cried last night until I couldn't. I cried tonight, I know I shouldn't. It hurts to know that I can't reach her. I've learned to lose, she was my teacher. Now I'm try to hide all the tears down deep inside, but even big boys cry. I climb the walls, I chew my fingers, I run around, but her love lingers. Her friends say she don't talk about me. They say she's doing well without me. I try to hide all the tears down deep inside, but even big boys cry. I hope someday I might forget her. I know for my sake I had better. I want so much to say I don't care, but all this hoping gets me nowhere. I try to hide all the tears down deep inside, but even big boys cry. Yes, even big boys cry. I know that big boys can cry.
That was Bobby Charles. He was better known as a songwriter than as a singer. And as I said before, that's a sin, because the boy could sing like a bird. He still does, as a matter of fact. Big Boys Cry on Theme Time Radio Hour, and everybody cries sometimes. Here's a mighty, mighty man, a mammoth talent by the name of Solomon Burke. He's the father of 14 daughters and 7 sons. I hope they all behave. He has 64 grandchildren and 8 great-grandchildren. No wonder he's singing this song, Cry to Me, Solomon Burke.
When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on, you cry to me. When you're all alone in your lonely room, and there's nothing but the smell of her perfume, don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like a cry? Come on, cry to me. Nothing can be sadder than a glass of wine alone. Loneliness, such a waste of time. Oh yeah, you don't ever have to walk alone. Oh, you see, oh come on, take my hand, baby, won't you walk with me? Oh yeah, when you're waiting for thoughts to come in the night, but there's no one. Don't you feel like a cry? Cry to me. Don't you feel like crying? Cry to me. Don't you feel like a crying? Don't you feel like a
That was Solomon Burke on Atlantic Records, singing a song written by Burt Russell, Cry to Me, on Theme Time Radio Hour. Thomas Fuller once said, "We are born crying, live complaining, and die disappointed." Hank Williams knew what he was talking about. This song was about a very specific depression, inspired by his troubled relationship with his wife Audrey Shepard. Hear that lonesome whippoorwill. He sounds too blue to fly. I'm so lonesome I could cry.
that lonesome whippoorwill. He sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is whining low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I've never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. The moon just went behind the clouds to hide its face and cry. When leaves begin to die, like me, he's lost the will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Silence of a falling star lights up a purple sky. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry.
It was Hiram Hank Williams, a song that hit #1 on the Billboard Country Chart in 1949. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Hank Williams, taken from us too soon. Here's one of the sexiest, most sultry records ever recorded. A deserved smash. Cry Me a River. Julie London. I'll never forget seeing her appear as a vision to Tom Ewell in the motion picture The Girl Can't Help It.
Oh, Mr. Miller? Why do you drink so much?
Just a habit, I suppose.
A girl habit?
Girl? No, I haven't got a girl.
Mr. Miller? If it was Julie London, she wasn't very bright.
Here she is, singing that same song, Cry Me a River. Julie London.
Now you say you're lonely. You cry the long night through. Well, you can cry me a river. Cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river. Cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me. And now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, come on and cry me a river. Cry me a river. I cried a river over you. I cried a river over you. I cried a river over you.
The sophisticated and the sultry Julie London, Cry Me a River. We still got plenty of tears to shed here on our crying edition of Theme Time Radio Hour. Here's a song by Jimmy Nelson. His nickname was T99 after the big hit he had in 1951. He quit music for a long time to work at an oil refinery, but in recent years, he's released a bunch of exciting new blues records. Here's one of his old ones, though, and you gotta love a guy who tells you how long the record you're about to listen to is.
2 minutes and 38 seconds, that's all I need to tell you people of my misery. Baby's gone and left me flat. Caught that train and just like that, I sat and cried. I sat and cried. He sat and cried. He sat and cried. Then the sunset flashed across the window pane and kissed the rain. Oh, baby's goodbye train. It shone on the passing track close by, where I was sitting there screaming on a greasy tire. I sat and cried. I sat and cried. He sat and cried. He sat and cried. Down by the tracks in the jungle's glade, and the cool green grass and the trees shade, I'd shall arise and slowly drag home, 'cause I looked like death eating neck bones. I sat and cried. I sat and cried. He sat and cried. He sat and cried. Pawn everything I had, now I'm flat broke. Used to be a big shot, hey, what a joke. Help me if you can. I look like a monkey's man. My eyes are red, feel like I'm gonna choke. Looking down the track, watching my baby smoke. I sat and cried. I sat and cried. He sat and cried. He sat and cried. Fast horses and women out all night long. She and I both knew that I was dead wrong. I hung my head, I could still hear her say, I'll be gone somehow, someday. I sat and cried. I sat and cried. He sat and cried. He sat and cried. Then an eastbound stock train hummed the rails. She was due at the switch to clear the mail. The stock rolled in and off the main that left the line wide open for baby's train. As it heaved in sight far up the track, she was working up steam, something I didn't like. And then she screamed once at the whistle post, and then shot by me like a fighting ghost. Thought she was coming back. Thought she was coming back. He had a funny thought. He had a funny thought.
That's Jimmy T99 Nelson, recording for the RPM record label, featuring Maxwell Davis on the saxophone and Lester Young's brother Lee on drums. A couple other great songs by Jimmy are Married Men Like to Sport Too, Unlock the Lock, Secondhand Fool, and Meet Me With Your Black Dress On.
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball. No crying.
Smokey Robinson wrote a lot of great songs about tears, but here's one that isn't so well known, but is just as good. As a matter of fact, it's one of Elvis Costello's favorite Motown tracks of all. Here's Elvis talking about it.
Well, Smokey Robinson certainly, he kind of had a, he kind of annexed tears from everybody, I think, early on, you know. He made sure that tears belonged to him, I think, because not just because of Tears of a Clown, but also Tracks of My Tears. And my personal favorite, which is No More Tear-Stained Makeup, which is, I think, the best song that Smokey wrote that's not well known. It says, no sponge has the power to absorb the shower of what pancake and powder couldn't cover. That's so beautiful.
Here's the Marvelettes, No More Tear-Stained Makeup.
I've got no cause to wear a pair of lashes or mascara. My eyes have natural shadows from the crying that I've done so much of lately. It really hurt me greatly to find the love of all was only lying. But I'm young, so there's a chance I might find true romance. So no more tear-stained makeup for me. No, no, no more tear-stained makeup for me. I say no tear-stained makeup for me. I finally got myself together. No, no, I can't cry forever. Like a storm, my tears have rained since your shirt was lipstick stained. The stains that it contained were not my color. No sponge has the power to absorb the shower of tears pancake and powder couldn't cover. But today as I look in the mirror, I see things a whole lot clearer. So no more tear-stained makeup for me. Oh no, no more tear-stained makeup for me. I say no tear-stained makeup for me. I finally got myself together. No, no, I can't cry forever. I finally got myself together. No, no, I can't cry forever. So no more tear-stained makeup for me. Oh no, no more tear-stained makeup for me. I say no tear-stained makeup for me. No more tear-stained makeup for me. I finally got myself together. No, 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 no. No, no, I can't cry forever. Ooh, baby. No, no, I can't cry forever.
That was the Marvelettes, maybe the most pop-oriented of Motown's major female acts. They had two strong lead singers, Gladys Horton and Wanda Young, and they were singing a song written by Smokey Robinson, No More Tear-Stained Makeup, here on Theme Time Radio Hour. Before he went totally silver, Charlie Rich, the Silver Fox, started out making some rockabilly sides for Sun Records, writing songs for Jerry Lee Lewis and recording songs on his own, such as Who Will the Next Fool Be, Sitting and Thinking, No Headstone on My Grave, and his biggest hit of the period Lonely Weekends. But Sun Records ran out of steam in the mid-'60s, and Charlie went off to RCA. After that, he went to Smash, where he recorded our next song. Some people know about the Whiskey A Go-Go, but Charlie knows about a little place called Tears A Go-Go. This is Charlie Rich.
Everyone's heard of a whiskey, a go-go. It's a place where people go just to go-go. But I'm gonna open a place where there's a sad look on everyone's face, and I'll call that lonely place Tears A Go-Go. You won't be allowed to go in unless you look like you've lost your best friend. But when you finally get inside, just forget all your foolish pride and break right down and cry tears a go-go. And just to make you feel right at home, there will be a sad song playing all night long. Yeah, to keep from spoiling the blue atmosphere. You will be asked to leave if on your face a smile appears. Well, the doors will never close and tears a go-go. Just go right in and let your tears flow. We will have our own in crowd. Together we will cry out loud. Happy people won't be allowed at Tears A Go-Go. Happy people won't be allowed at Tears A Go-Go. Happy people won't be allowed.
That was Charlie Rich, of course. He knows about a place where you can't have a smile on your face. Tears A Go-Go. Let's take a pause and dip into the email folder. Here's one from Mrs. Grant Mitchum from Swampscott, Massachusetts. She writes, Dear Theme Time, I'm at the end of my rope. I don't know what to do with my 5-year-old. Every day when I'm trying to watch my programs, he yells and hollers and tells us someone's out to get him. I don't know what I'm going to do with the boy. Any suggestions? Well, Mrs. Grant Mitchum, I don't know why so many people are writing me asking for advice about their kids, but I think I got something that can help you. I'm reminded of the story from Aesop about the shepherd boy who kept crying wolf when there was no wolf. Townspeople would rush in trying to protect their sheep, and they would see that there was no wolf at all. This amused the shepherd boy greatly. He did it many times. When a wolf finally did appear, he hollered wolf, and no one came to help. The herd was slaughtered, and the little boy was killed by the wolf. And the moral of that story, according to Aesop, is when liars tell the truth, they are never believed. Go tell your 5-year-old that story. Now, usually, I don't like to cry wolf, but we're going to make an exception here, because our next song is co-written by Peter Wolf. This song was later covered by Graham Parsons on his album, GP. But here's the version by the guys who did it first, the J. Giles Band. Cry One More Time.
Cry one more time for you. I really got it bad. Cry one more time for you. I lost the best I had. Everything's gone wrong. I need another beat. She's got a mind on me. That's what I'm doing here. Ain't no sense in talking. I don't know what I'd say. Ain't no sense in trying. girls in it. I don't wanna go around town. I know she'll be with him. So sad to be alone at night. So sad it didn't work out right. Cry one more time for you. I really got it bad. Cry one more time for you. I've lost the best I had. I 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 lost the best I
That was the Jay Giles Band with Peter Wolf singing. Pete got his start as a disc jockey on WBCN in Boston on the Late Night Soul Show, playing all the platters that matter, from swing to sweet, bop to ballad, and blues to boogie. See, Pete, I can do it too. I love you, Pete. We talk about Roy Brown a lot. He wrote Good Rockin' Tonight and was one of the kings of feel-good jump blues. But he had a sad side too, like this song, part of the great tradition of rhythm and blues songs where the singer breaks down in tears. Here's Roy Brown, and he's laughing but crying.
You're gone and left with my best friend. Well, I don't worry, honey. I'm glad you're gone. I'm laughing on the outside. Do you hear me, baby? Yes, I'm laughing on the outside. Baby, I'm just laughing all the while. I'm laughing on the outside, but crying on the inside day by day. Brought my buddy in my home, told you to treat him like a king. But baby, when my back was turned, you gave him all, everything. I'll tell the world what a fool I was. I tried to give my best friend a home. Now he's installed the woman I love and gone. Yeah, honey, I'm laughing. I'm laughing on the outside. Listen, do you remember? I found you wandering around on a cold, cold night in the streets, baby. Why, you didn't have clothes to wear. You didn't even have money to buy food. Nowhere to lay your pretty head. I took you in, remember? I took you in and gave you a place to stay. Money in your pocketbook, clothes to wear. And now you're gone, deserted me. And left with the best friend I had in the world. What a laugh. What a laugh. Oh, love is just a gamble I played a losing hand. Now I lost all your loving, baby, to some other man. Oh, but I hope and pray
I hope he'll break your heart, baby. Oh, just as you broke mine. I'm laughing on the outside. Oh, laughing on the outside.
That was Roy Brown. He's laughing but crying, and you can hardly tell the difference. But don't worry too much about Roy. He's no crybaby. We're going to hear from him next week on our Laughter Show. If you like songs where the singer breaks out in tears, here's a couple of my favorites. Valerie by Jackie and the Starlights, Weeping and Crying by Tommy Brown, No One to Love Me by the Shawees, and of course The Bells by Clyde McPhatter with Billy Ward and his Dominoes. You know what? I gotta play that one for you right now. Here's Billy Ward and his Dominoes, featuring a tear-soaked performance by Clyde McPhatter, a song called The Bells.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here.
There are 4 black horses with eyes of flaming red. There are roses tied with ribbons all around my baby's head. The bells are ringing, and they say I ought to go and see. Well, I know why they're ringing. They are ringing out for me. Baby, please forgive me. I know I've caused you pain. I've replaced your tears with diamonds just to see your face again. The bells are ringing, and they say I ought to go and see. Yes, I know why they're ringing. They're ringing out for me.
Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust.
That was The Bells, Clyde McPhatter, along with Billy Ward and his Dominoes. Get your quota of tears here on Theme Time Radio Hour. In the background, the familiar sounds of Willow Weep for Me. Perhaps you know the song, but you might not know the piano player. The piano player's name is Billy Tipton, and I don't know whether to say he or she. And when Billy died on January 21st, 1989, the director of the Ball and Dodd Funeral Home informed his stunned wife and children that the deceased musician had actually been a woman. Billy Tipton had successfully masqueraded as a man for more than 50 years. Billy was married 5 times, fooled 5 different women. There's a book called Suits Me, which goes into great detail about why he did it and how he did it. Billy Tipton isn't well known, but he released 2 albums of jazz piano. Read about Billy Tipton and be amazed. Gonna move down to Kingston, Jamaica now, 1966. One of the big innovators of rocksteady. His first hit was Dance Crasher, but Alton Ellis had a bunch of other songs that topped the Jamaican charts. Here he is with his Flames in a song called Cry Tough.
Don't you know you're getting older? Don't you know you're getting slower?
How can a man be tough, tougher than the world? Tougher than the world. For if he's rough, he's against the world. He's against the world.
Cry tough. Don't you know you're getting
How can man be tough, tougher than the world? For if he's tough, he's against the world. That was Cry Tough by Alton Ellis and the Flames. In 2006, Alton was deservedly inducted into the International Reggae and World Music Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all concerned. Laughter and tears are meant to turn the wheels of the same machinery of sensibility. One is wind power and the other water power. Oliver Wendell Holmes.
Then, he finds out the husband is alive, that he faked his death. The DA breaks into the prison, runs down death row. But he gets there too late. The gas pellets have been dropped. She's dead. I tell you, there's not a dry eye in the house.
Here she is, a heavenly singer with a voice like Gabriel's trumpet. Oh, if trumpet players could only play like she sings. Luda Reed, with the original version of a song Ray Charles had a big hit with, Drowning My Own Tears.
It brings a tear into my eyes when I begin to realize I cried so much since you've been gone. I almost drowned in my own tears. I sit and cry just like a child. My pouring tears are running wild. If you don't say you'll be home soon, I guess I drowned in my own tears. I know it's true. Into each line, some rain must fall, but I'm so blue here without you. It keeps raining more and more. Each time I cry for you till I don't know just what to do. If you don't say you'll be home soon, I guess I drowned in my own tears. I know it's true. Into his life, some rain must fall. I'm so blue here without you. It keeps raining more and more. Why can't you come on home so I won't be so all alone? I'm begging you to hurry on before I drown in my own tears.
For crying out loud, that was Lula Reed, here on Theme Time Radio Hour, where the Tear Fest continues. And luckily, poets have always used crying as an inspiration. Here's an example by Dylan Thomas. My tears are like the quiet drift of petals from some magic rose, and all my grief flows from the rift of unremembered skies and snows. I think that if I touched the earth, it would crumble. It is so sad and beautiful, so tremulously like a dream. Dylan Thomas, Clown in the Moon. We're just about all cried out, and before we bid a tearful farewell, there's one more man to hear from. Here's another kind of poetry by Mose Allison. Mose is from Tippo, Mississippi. And while he was in his teens, he would sit in with the rhythm and blues bands on Beale Street. One of those bands was led by another teenage blues man, the Beale Street Boy, now better known as B.B. King. It was the 40s in the Deep South, and most people were not ready for races to mix. but Mose didn't care. He said, when it comes to music, I just follow my ears. He followed him to New York, where he became a big light in the jazz scene. Here's one of his greatest songs. It's called Everybody's Crying Mercy When They Don't Know the Meaning of the Word. It's a bad enough situation, and sure enough getting worse.
I can't believe the things I'm seeing. I wonder about some things I've heard. Everybody crying mercy when they don't know the meaning of the word. A bad enough situation is sure enough getting worse. Everybody crying justice, just as long as there's business first. Toe to toe, touch and go, give a cheer, get your souvenir. People running round in circles, don't know what they're headed for. Everybody crying peace on earth, just as soon as we win this war. So straight ahead, knock 'em dead. Pack your kit, choose your hypocrite. You don't have to go to off-Broadway to see something plain absurd. Everybody crying mercy when they don't know the meaning of the word. Nobody knows the meaning of the word.
That was Everybody's Crying Mercy by Mose Allison on our tear-soaked edition of Theme Time Radio Hour. Mose wrote a lot of songs with great song titles. Some of the others are Your Molecular Structure, Your Mind is on Vacation, and Your Mouth is Working Overtime. Hello there, universe. How does it feel to be good-looking ever since the world ended? And thank God for self-love. Check out Mose when he comes to your town. Well, the old clock on the wall says it's time to go. And it's a good thing, because I'm out of Kleenex anyway. So I'm going to hop in my car and head down the Robertson Freeway and get myself a beer I can cry into. In the meantime, remember the words of our former president, Woodrow Wilson. There was little for the great part of history except the bitter tears of pity and the hot tears of wrath. See you next week on Theme Time Radio Hour. There ain't a dry eye in the house.
You've been listening to Theme Time Radio Hour with your host, Bob Dylan. Produced by Eddie Gorodetsky. Associate producer, Sonny Webster. Continuity by Eats Martin. Edited by Damian Rodriguez. Supervising editor, Rob McCumber. The Theme Time research team, Diane Lapson and Bernie Bernstein. With additional research by Lynn Sheridan, Kimberly Williams, and Robert Bauer. Production assistance by Jim McBeam. Special thanks to Randy Azrati, Debbie Sweeney, Coco Shinomiya, and Samson Steiner. For XM Radio, Lee Abrams. Recorded in Studio B, the Abernathy Building. Studio engineer, Tex Carbone. This has been a Greywater Park production in association with Big Red Tree. This is your announcer, Pierre Mancini, speaking. Join us again next week for Theme Time Radio Hour when the subject is laughter.